Hello, everybody, and welcome to AJS News. We got a busy week. A lot of stuff happened.
But first, a word from our sponsors. So, yeah, we're still running the disc plates. We got 2 new disc plates, me and Other Joe in badass poses. Oh, god darn it. Now we got to get an Alex poster.
I'll make one.
But
Yeah,
go check them out now. If you use the link below, you get 25% off if you get 1 or 2. If you get 3 or more, you get 33% off with their Black Friday sale. Use the code below. You don't even have to buy one of our posters. You could get any of those creative, awesome, badass, artistic posters all over the site. Just use the link below. Thank you so much. And yes, if you're wondering, there is a flower in my hat. It's Veterans Day. I spent a little bit of my day with my grandpa in a parade for veterans. It was friggin' awesome. So now we're back. AJS update about the reviews. Super sorry, man. Families have been flying in. Been spending time with them. Been doing various things. Still working on it. In fact, Alex has contributed to the Death Stranding review. We're still buying stuff, so it is still in the works. You know, we want to do Death Stranding, which we're still playing, and Outer Worlds, which we're still working on. So please, please, please be patient on that. I do have other videos coming up before that. I think Kingdom Under Fire is one, and then you know, we did a few other games.
Yeah,
so just be patient. I hope those videos don't get downvoted to hell. Just know that, you know, they're coming.
Winter's coming.
It's the busiest time of the year for me on Wednesday because I have to balance family and the reviews. That it wasn't Broketober this year. It was like
November.
No money November.
Yeah.
Well, everything got delayed, and so it's actually
Yeah.
we got off kind of easy because half the games that were supposed
Yeah.
to come out are now in April. So April next year is going to be busy.
Yeah. Good times.
March and
March,
April
yeah.
are both nuts. Anyways, that's the AJS update. Let's get to the news.
So there is turmoil everywhere. Every elementary school right now, the kids are screaming because popular YouTuber Jarvis got banned.
And you lost.
And so all the
And
seven,
you lost me.
Yeah, 7-year-olds are upset all over the place.
No.
So this kid isn't even good at the game. His brother is good at the game, right? So his brother's like a professional Fortnite player.
Okay.
He is not.
Okay.
And we know he's not because he uses
Is this the one
aimbots.
that got banned?
And he got
that we
banned for
talked
life.
about
And he
on
was
our broadcast?
crying
Okay.
because he's a scumbag cheater.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, it's like
It's a tournament.
when you're
though,
playing in a tournament and
right?
you're using an aimbot, you are stealing from
Yes.
people, right? Because if he wins any
Look,
prizes,
we hate cheaters. We have no sympathy
None.
for cheaters here. I'm sorry. We're not in that fucking camp that, oh, I can't make any Fortnite money with videos. Is, hey, how about you not cheat? You're a grown person. You know, I don't want
Sort
to
of.
call you.
Ish.
I don't want to call you a grown adult. But you know what you're doing. You know what the ramifications
knew the
are for cheating.
consequences,
You know
yeah.
what cheating does in the game. And I saw his video, his apology video, where he tears up and he's trying
Well, you
to
have
get
to.
sympathy. Right.
that's how the YouTube
Well,
you
he's-
apologize on
Yeah.
YouTube.
He's banned for life,
sorry,
and some people say, well, that's too harsh. Some people think that's too harsh because he was like, I was just doing it for fun. I didn't realize the ramifications. It's like, you know,
What?
Welcome to being adult.
Yeah, there are plenty of people that bust their ass trying to be YouTubers and Fortnite reviewers, and they're not out there making cheating videos and shit like that.
He's on a professional
The
team.
The
Yeah.
problem, well, not only that, well, initially when I got told about it, is he cheated in a tournament, but
Yeah.
that was wrong. Somebody in chat's an idiot, and I was like, no, fuck this guy, banned for life. But for cheating outside of the game, trying to come up with some entertaining video, it's a dumb, boneheaded move. But I'm sorry, bro. It's you know. You just don't cheat at games. I fucking hate it. There's a whole economy of cheating that I just wish would go away. There are people driving around Lamborghinis or Ferraris because they have these companies that are made to hack and exploit games. They generate millions of dollars for just one or two people. And then you've got the economy of Fortnite. You know, if you have a Fortnite channel and you make tons of money these days if
Oh,
you're
yeah.
good or if you're entertaining. And you have these little things. So the rules have to apply to everybody equally. I'm not one of those that's like, oh, well, you know, he's a YouTuber, so he should get special privileges.
No.
I don't think so, man. You got to be smarter than that.
There's 30,000 people who were
That's
trying to
just
do
my
what
opinion.
he's doing that also didn't cheat, and it's like, look, you lost your chance.
I never cheat. I don't cheat in games. I don't like it. I mean, you know, I know that's a subculture. I know Dell, you know, has rubbed up against that before, but I'm like,
Well, you like to use those exploits where you fall through the world, right? So you can like see more of the game.
I
than
never
everyone
know when
else.
it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nah,
I
if
want
you
to see
got
the
banned
whole
for
thing.
something like that, that
banned in
needs
all
to
video
be
games.
reversed immediately.
Yeah, no, aimbots.
Because
Yeah.
if he was intentionally cheating,
here.
then yeah. But if he was, you know, if it just so happened to be where he's exploiting, then he's helping fix the game. Then, you know, okay,
Yeah.
maybe we'll give him some leeway. But no, if you're intentionally cheating, I'm not about that life. And you got banned, good.
Yeah, the
Sorry.
intent was there. He knew he was cheating. He was
be
there
smart
trying to
next
make
time.
money on.
But do you think, because then people, Joe, you're heartless.
Yeah.
You know, this guy cried in front of you. Why didn't you unban him so he can make his thousands of dollars playing video games like you do? Well, what would you?
So I'm a Magic the Gathering judge and have been for a very, very long time. So we catch cheaters all the time, and they cry and they whine and they do everything, and it is wonderful.
And that's in person,
And
so it's harder. Please, sir.
And I just don't care because especially when it like a tournament, like you know that the intent was there. He downloaded the hack. He knew exactly what he did.
Yeah.
And what was he trying to do with it? He was trying to look good on YouTube to make money.
Yeah.
And so
Here's the thing: is that if it was in a tournament, I am for banning for life. If it was just a normal thing where he made an honest mistake and he was trying to do, I know it's not an honest mistake.
not
Because if he
I
would have
agree.
got caught, he would have been like, "Oh yes,
Yeah,
look
yeah.
at this." Like,
And I got
everyone
a
thinks
ton
I'm
of views
amazing
and things
Yeah.
like that. No, he wasn't trying to hide the fact that he was cheating, Joe. He turned on the aimbot and he was like, look at how funny and entertaining this is. But that's encouraging your 9-year-old army to cheat and ruin our games for the rest of us who don't like cheaters.
Yeah.
So maybe it shouldn't be the lifetime. Maybe it'd be like a 2-year ban, which effectively is a lifetime ban.
Like, what do you?
These-
What is your alternative
these
then? If
2
we
years.
we don't throw the book at him and we're like, all right, cool, you're
Yeah.
just can't play for 2 years. You can't play
Sure.
for a year.
It is exactly.
It's the same
That's the
thing.
slippery slope.
Yeah.
Oh, let's change the rules. If we change the rules for one YouTuber, you have to change the rules for everybody.
Yeah.
Or you use him as an example of, I'm sorry, bro. Why don't you stop playing Fortnite? Yeah, it sucks that you did that. Start playing PUBG. Start playing Apex Legends.
You shouldn't be
Minecraft is
sorry though.
another
So
good
like,
Start Minecraft, Roblox. Make your money off children elsewhere. I don't know.
yeah. But like I hate when people are like, oh, sorry, bro. It's like, no, we have nothing to be sorry for. You downloaded the aimbot. You're done. Like if you like I said,
I
it's
stay
like
away from that shit on the internet.
Yeah.
I don't do that stuff. So I got no sympathy there. But I understand other people's side. It's like, that's too harsh. Ban them for a year or two.
which is a lifetime ban.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a
it's
lifetime.
the same thing. So, all right. Well, we got into other sorts of cheating, but this is the semi-legal matter. So there was a story actually 6 months ago that came out. I believe originally The Atlantic covered it, but the Washington Post just put something out this week that goes over Activision and EA and something really scummy that they do to kind of take advantage of the stock market. And so what they do is when a company says we're going to do a stock buyback, people think, wow, this company's doing really well, and their stock hits a bump and it goes up. And then the executives of the company sell all their stock at that time when they hit a bump. Now, this normally is not legal. Like you cannot do that. But during a buyback, the SEC says it's okay. Now, what's really scummy about it is every time Activision and EA has done it, they actually haven't bought any stock back. So it looks like what they're saying is, hey, there's a buyback, and their stock jumps, they sell everything, and then they don't buy anything back. And so this is somehow legal.
Shady.
Martha Stewart went to jail for 5 months for like insider
Hardcore.
trading. Yeah. And like these guys get to continue to do this.
They're jiggering around with the system, man.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you have a corporation. Corporation is not a person, even though legally in the United States they kind of are. is these entities are simply there to make money.
Yes.
And you have to install people in positions of power that care about making good video games in addition to making money. And over time, what happens is those people leave, go to greener pastures, go to better companies.
Yeah.
And what you're left with is a core of people who only give a shit about the bottom line. And when you get to that point, that's where you start to get, hey, you know what they do over there at the Goldman Sachs, or hey, what they do over here and over here. Let's implement some of that over here. When they start hiring out from other industries,
not a good idea.
right? And then they do these little tactics to basically kind of. They're cheating too. Everybody's cheating.
They're definitely cheating. So Bobby Kotick, Activision's chief executive, sold 4 million shares for about $180 million, which was a 15% boost. Second year in a row that they did it, they bought back no shares. So they know exactly what they're doing, right? So EA did exactly the same thing, and this is actually got the attention of Robert Jackson, which is the SEC commissioner. Now, the SEC is in charge of making sure that no insider trading happens, that these kind of policies shouldn't exist as is, and so he's actually going forward and trying to make sure that they don't happen again. Now, one of the other reasons to kind of remember this is the executives at both EA and Activision are making hundreds of millions of dollars just on these stock transactions. But at the same time, they're laying people off because they're saying that they're not
that. Oh,
so
let's fire our QA and then rehire our QA at a lower price.
Yep.
Yeah, and so what they're doing is they're shrinking,
sucks.
they're pulling the money, which is how when you're publicly traded, it's kind of how it works, right? Because you're beholden to stockholders, and so they're pulling all the money, it's getting cycled out, and then they're saying, no, we don't have any. It's like, well, you clearly do. If in one sale, only a percentage of the stock that you have, you could make $180 million, and that's just one of them. The rest of the team does the same thing for even more money. So it doesn't look good, and there's a lot of optics on them right now. Now, nothing will happen from this because they've been doing it for years. It's just something
Everybody doing this for years. But we wanted to point it out.
Yeah.
I know some of you might have fell asleep, but it's important to know what these companies are doing and how they're basically, operating themselves. And so when you feel like, man, Activision's turning a corner and maybe you want to trust them.
No.
I don't know. I'd be careful.
What's behind
I'd
your
be careful.
hand? I don't trust you.
Joe, we need to boot up. I just remembered. God, see, I'm drowning. It's just one person. We need to boot up Modern Warfare. Check out the Battle Pass, and they have new maps. I want to play on those new maps.
Yeah, so like every time that we say that they're coming back, they're doing something better, they do something really scummy.
Yeah.
Now, the next story is going to talk about actually how they're doing. So Activision Blizzard, their sales are slumping and they're losing audience. It's actually a lot more than people thought.
Well, that makes sense because they haven't had a game in a long time.
Yeah.
That's not really news, or it shouldn't be, explosive news.
Well, it's not. So Activision
Their
Blizzard
games are waning, and now that's why they have their BlizzCon. They say, hey, everybody check out Overwatch 2. Everybody check out Diablo 4. Hearthstone expansion. So that's fine. That's ebb and flow. I don't give a crap.
Well, their revenues were down sharply, 47% year over year.
Yeah,
so last year they were making significantly more money.
Yeah.
Blizzard revenues are down 38%. King, which does Candy Crush because everyone's mom still plays Candy Crush, they're still doing fine. They're not losing too much more money. Nice. Now, something that Bobby Kotick, Activision Blizzard CEO, said is, as we introduce mobile and free-to-play games based on our franchises, we believe we can increase audience size, engagement, and monetization across our wholly owned franchises. Now, you know what that means.
Yes,
You've
I
heard the
do.
announcement that happened this week as well. We're getting
Unfortunately.
microtransactions in Diablo 4.
Yeah.
So
Should be fun, right?
there was a live stream where the person said, "Hey, how are you gonna monetize Diablo 4?" And then the poor guy who is a Blizzard representative is like, "We're gonna do cosmetic microtransactions." You could tell he was not excited at all.
Put it up here, Joe.
Yeah, it was.
Get the link.
You feel for him because he's just the mouthpiece, but it doesn't look good.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
just cut it into the video right now.
This is going to be a big one. Monetization. Is there any just sort of decision made in terms of how? So is it going to be like you just buy the game and then that's it? Or is it going to be microtransactions within the game? Or are you doing like subscription? How are you planning to monetize it and like keep getting funding, I guess, to like keep making heaps of content?
So Diablo 4 will be available as a base game, and as I said, we're going to have expansions. You also will be able to acquire cosmetics in the game through...
So MTX. Oh, wow. That's going to be through some sort of shop or can...
It's very early.
Oh, wow.
so-
Okay.
But yes.
Oh, okay, that's really interesting. I mean, to be honest, I really do like the whole MTX monetization scheme because I don't know. I feel like if they make even
it's just you know, it's you pay $60, you ain't done. You ain't done, motherfucker. You know, and that's just the way of things. Hopefully, it's a really good game.
I want it to be good.
It justifies it a little bit. The fact that it's only cosmetic, hopefully.
Well, we've heard that before from other places.
The way he also said
I'm all right with only.
The way he also said it too, he's like, well, there's that, and he
It
knows
seemed like
there's more
more,
coming.
yeah,
There's
but wait.
gotta be
He did
more.
say
There's more.
expansion. They want to do
Expansions.
expansions. They want to do cosmetics, and they want to do their. I am not against microtransactions. I think a lot of people
Cosmetic
think I
only.
am.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's predatory microtransactions. It's loot boxes.
Yes.
It's those kinds of things that ruin our games and that make live service games lazy. And I don't want to see it happen to Diablo 4.
Blizzard was the company that kind of popularized the loot
Yeah,
boxes through
Overwatch.
Overwatch, though. So, I mean, we have to remember that this is where it's coming from. They made incredible amounts of money, and they're going to charge us for Diablo, unlike the way they did with some of their live service stuff, and I don't...
Well, I've been working behind the scenes on certain things pertaining to loot boxes, pertaining to awareness and government stuff. Can't talk about it right now, but we'll have a bunch of information in the future. Gotta, we're working on something.
The last bit of Blizzard news that we had was we had some interesting, almost mixed messaging coming directly from actually high-ups at Blizzard when they were in reference to Hong Kong and Blitzchung's ban. So Kaplan, was it Jeff Kaplan?
Oh, yeah.
So
Overwatch said, hey, I think it's a little too harsh. It's like, okay, so you have actual employees and people in lead positions that thinks that the Blitzchung ban should have been lifted.
It should have been banned, if not
Or
eliminated.
shorted.
Yeah, shortened, if not eliminated entirely. But they know. I mean,
They're-
we got a
they're not
half
gonna do
apology
anything.
that wasn't really an apology. Like this is
So
posturing.
stupid because if it's only 5% that Tencent owns or all this other stuff, then you think they'd be just like, what is it, Riot Games or the other ones that's owned more by China that's like, no, we'll never do shit like this.
Yeah.
Or it was Epic Games and Tim Sweeney was like, on my watch, I don't give a fuck. This shit is not happening. So it would have been awesome and for Blizzard fanboys if Blizzard would have been like, sorry, you know what, we're lifting the ban right now.
Exactly.
But in the future, could you guys maybe keep that stuff out of the esports, like political stuff, and follow the guidelines? But you could do it everywhere else. Just something like that. Some sort of consolidatory thing where it's like the ban is lifted, but we would like our esports to remain politics free in the future.
Yeah, especially since Blizzard's a company.
In my opinion, and they should have just let it go.
Yeah, and just-
everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Let everything go.
Well, I don't see. I differ there, where I just say that from this point on, no mas. Like we're done here. But Blizzard has been a company that has gone out for things that they feel are important to them as far as equality goes and representation, and that's great. Blizzard should continue to do things like that. But what you can't do is say all of those messages are fine. We don't like yours,
you
and we're
said.
going to ban yours.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
So,
for
that's
removing it.
bad. I mean, people who called it way back when Blizzard was obtained by Activision, you're getting the fruits of that now.
Yeah.
And they will suffer brain drain. They will suffer ideological, when their employees find other opportunities in other companies, they're probably going to take it.
Yeah.
This could be the beginning of, the change for Blizzard. So we need to keep an eye on Blizzard and their future games. And hopefully they don't turn into another Anthem and EA and Fallout 76.
man.
Well, if their profits
Diablo
continue to fall the way that they are, and they have nothing coming out soon, right? Like we've got Overwatch 2, which is really kind of just like an expansion pack for Overwatch 1, but that's a title that can bring in some money, but they don't have anything on the horizon. Diablo 4 is a long way off. So they need something big, otherwise they're going to continue to see falling revenue, falling audience, and what I don't want them to do is have someone in a suit at the very top saying, you're making less money, over-monetize stuff.
Over-monetized your current time.
Yeah, it's
Turn
a
it
slippery
back.
bar
If
of
it doesn't
soap,
work,
squeeze it
turn it
real
back.
hard. Yeah.
Speaking of over-monetizing current stuff, Bethesda,
damn
Fallout
it.
76. We got
We're
another.
back.
We got another Fallout 76 story.
Two.
Bethesda, you're dead to me. Wow, it just never ends. I mean, I'm
doesn't,
glad.
honestly.
It's just constant
I'm
bad
not
optics.
glad, but I'm glad we get to talk about it. We get to make fun of you on our fucking show. You keep fucking up. And I don't know. Is there going to be ramifications? I think everybody's going to forget about this when Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 comes out.
I don't know. I think everyone's going to look at it really closely.
All right.
I am.
Yeah. At the very least, we can say that they're going to be under the microscope. And if there's microtransactions and crap like that in those, then you might get a huge blow up. But so I heard that people that were people that were bug testing the game are basically reporting like some exploits and bugs to Bethesda. Say, hey, you guys might want to look into this.
Yeah.
I found this thing, and then they were like, oh yeah, thank you so much. We'll look into that. You're banned.
That's exactly what happened.
If that is what had happened, there would be people should have their pitchforks and be ready. But that is not exactly what
I
happened.
like that because I like that.
I like that.
That's the juicy story, but the reality is.
I appreciate you finding that bug for me.
Yeah. There's a group of people that are going through. They're looking for exploits within the game, and according to them, they do report them. They're also using things called Cheat Engine. They're using other things to kind of skim the game. And this group, for the reason that they got banned, is they saw that a weapon with roles that should not exist was popping up all over the place. So they scoured the barrens looking for it, and what they came across is they figured out the exploit. They copied a bunch of their own things, and this person in particular, and according to what he said, is that he doesn't remember if he dropped all of them or not. Most of them he just duped and then threw them away. But he said, I may have left some of them on my person, and since my buddy reported the bug, I didn't feel the need to report the bug. So
they were in the same clan, right? Or
well, yeah, but I mean, Bethesda doesn't know who's what. Bethesda sees this guy goes on, finds a known exploit, exploits it, doesn't drop the items, doesn't report anything, and then his account gets banned.
I see. A little more to the story, huh?
Yeah.
So it gets a little muddier.
Yeah.
I mean, it's difficult to tell because obviously if you have people hunting the bugs, the best bug hunters are the people that would cheat and exploit in your game.
Yes.
But
you have free testers.
But they did go and report it.
Yeah.
But then maybe not this particular guy. So that particular guy got banned for doing it in the first place.
I'm going to read you his quote.
I don't know.
Because this will kind of explain. This is directly from the
Confusing.
person that got banned. So he said, someone from my group stated that they already reported it to the community managers, so I just left it. My account got a ban the next day. I dropped the items I got from the purveyor roles. It is possible a few were still in the inventory when I logged out from the latest test. And then he said, but I am almost certain I dropped them, but he's not sure. So it's like, look, if you went to the area where they know the bug is, you duped a bunch of items. They didn't dupe, but, they created a bunch of items that you shouldn't have been able to create.
Yeah.
Left them on them and didn't himself report the bug. Look,
He's
sucks.
at fault. He's
yeah,
at fault.
and so the
'Cause
person
we just talked about cheating.
Yeah.
You can't go around cheating in games without, at the very least, saying, "Oh, well, the reason why I was cheating is because I was helping to fix the game."
You have to report the bugs yourself.
I report that I did this.
Yeah.
If you do that, then then you cover your ass basically.
yeah.
And I guess that guy felt like, I don't need to cover my ass. Oh shit, I got banned.
But my clan did
they
it.
did it. Oh, there were guns in my inventory too. Oh, I forgot to take those out.
oops.
Yeah.
So it is not as clear cut as everyone thought, because this was a time where it's like, Bethesda's the worst.
Right,
it's like,
right.
look,
We need another news story. That's the news cycle on YouTube. We jump on it. Even our buddies do it. But you gotta
Does
research.
it say how many
things.
people got banned?
there was this person's group up to 4 people ended up getting banned.
So now there's
Some
one
of them
person playing.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's the thing, Bethesda needs to give them a fucking job.
Yeah.
Instead of banning them, give them a fucking job hunting down bugs.
Yeah, this person was actually piggybacking on what the other people had found as well, and so they were doing all this investigation.
That's
so
usually what happens.
I mean, it's just less clear cut.
Well, hire one of those clans who are dedicated to doing those types of things and be like, hey, we'll pay you. If you
At least-
find a bug,
yeah.
we'll pay you $100.
Well, at least you have someone who's dedicated to fixing that game, because they just can't do anything right. And one of the things that this
Apparently
person
the
mentioned,
people they pay a salary a year can't do it.
yeah, they can't figure everything out.
So I mean, it's still embarrassing for Bethesda.
Oh, it
'cause the
definitely looks
optics
bad.
does not look good. These are the people that are buying shit.
Well, and
that
this-
are loyal
yeah.
to the game, and you're banning them. And
They put
you're-
an hours.
Hours.
Countless of
Well, they also do
hours.
other positive things for the game because this group also created the resource was called map76.com, and there was a lot of really good resources on there, but they were also doing some other things they shouldn't have been doing. So just because you do something positive for the community, then you break all of the rules of the community. Like, look, it kind of makes sense why you got banned. Hopefully you get your account back, and you try to get a refund. They initially set for his Fallout first. They told him no, and then they came back and said, look, based on this situation, we'll give you your money back. So they're not completely horrible.
It's always good to get both sides of the story, at least here at the AJS News.
Yeah.
It's not as sexy. It's not as funny.
Can be sexy.
But
Yeah.
it is the truth.
The last thing that I wanted to talk about was there is a group of people in Fallout 76 that they have a clan, the Aristocracy, and it's
Fancy.
and they like to go around the
Buying everything and showing off their...
and they call everyone else peasants, and the role. I mean, they're not.
I like it.
They're like role
like it.
playing that they we got money and you don't, you filthy
No, I fucking like it. I mean, it's a reaction to them getting made fun of all
They
the
did, for
fucking
sure.
time. So, bravo to the autocracy. I mean, you guys are fucking idiots,
Yes.
but you can continue role playing as
Rich idiots.
rich fucking idiots.
Yeah, so it's like you're role playing it as an asshole.
I would love to, if it was a game I actually cared about, I would love to interact with that clan, either shooting and killing them or joining them for shits and giggles, whatever. It's a game. I like it when people role play.
Yeah. It was just funny that they're role playing as assholes, but they're also idiots because they paid money, and so it's like this is terrible. Like, I don't like.
If you're gonna do it, might as well
Yeah.
embrace it, I guess.
The founder of the clan said something that I thought would be something to address here. So he says, "We know Fallout 76 is not perfect, but developers don't work for free, so we do what we can to help fund improvement and expansion of the game." And I wanted to touch that because that is a horrible statement.
Yes.
What?
So
Y'all think it's horrible? Hey, he likes the game.
this-
He wants to contribute to the game. There's situations where I like the game and I want to contribute to the game.
But
it's not my job to tell people what to not buy.
Yeah.
And it is kind of.
I was
but
like,
then,
wait a minute.
But then you guys make the decision. I don't make it for them, Joe. I don't take their hands.
We have suggestions.
Break their
Okay, that's what we
fingers.
do.
yeah.
Suggestions.
Right.
So
So,
Fallout-
if they want to buy it, then let them buy it.
I'm not saying that they're not allowed to spend their money, but so the developers are selling us the product, and it is not our jobs as the consumers to
Oh,
fund
right.
their things. So when
Yeah.
Square Enix put out Final Fantasy 14, it was a garbage fire, and everyone
Right.
hated it. And so what they did is they pulled it down. They waited 2 years, 3 years,
Yeah,
like 2 years, put it back out, and now they have one of the most
Apologized.
they have one of the most successful
Yeah.
MMOs on the internet
I
right now,
remember.
and they did it right. And they knew that it was not the consumer's job to fund their game until they got there. They're like, it's our bad. We're
Right.
going to fix it. That's
Put out a complete
Yes.
product.
Product.
That's a great point.
So what you need to do is it's not that you need to pay them. They sold over 2 million copies at $60. They sold probably 7 more at 20, and then they made a bunch of money on the microtransactions.
Yeah.
So if developers at Bethesda are not being paid or are starving like you're making it sound, that is Bethesda not paying them. It's not that there wasn't any money in the bank account. That's Bethesda saying the shareholders need more. So this kind of goes back to what we said in the beginning, that there is money in these companies, and don't let them trick you into
top.
thinking, oh, we don't have any, so you have to give us $100 a year.
Right.
They have money.
No, they have money, but they're busy saying, "Oh, Fallout 76 skeleton crew, get out of here.
Yeah.
We're working on our next stuff." When really they should have been working on this
Yes.
and put it out correctly the first time.
Yeah.
And those people like the autocracy are supporting bad practices. And if everybody acted as the autocracy, then we'd be fucked.
Well,
in
they're not
terms of
punishing them for their
quality of
bad.
the
Like,
game.
you're just saying,
But they do have a right to exist, but at the same time, we have a right to make fun of them and point out how they're encouraging
Yeah.
bad practices from companies and contributing to ruining future games.
Exactly. Like if you're not holding these people accountable, they're going to continue to do that because you're making Todd correct. It's not how you release; it's where you end up. And if you can trick people into giving you money, even though your game was bad, and then giving you more money and giving you more money, they have no incentive to make the games good when they first come out anymore.
Or they'll raise that bar just a little
Little
bit
bit.
higher, just to that frog. Is he hot? Is he getting hot in the pot? Is he gonna jump out? No. We raise it gradually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Cool.
the last thing I know you wanted to talk about was Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon. That was a news
Pokemon.
story we missed as well. There, Pokemon Sword and Shield missing a lot of Pokemon. A lot.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about buying it because I love Pokemon. I remember back in middle school, you know, we had the shitty
We
Game
get
Boy.
the original Pokemon.
Y'all
That's a
had
shitty
fucking
Game Boy.
Yeah,
I
no,
had
I had the
good-
shitty Game Boy while y'all had the motherfucking colored Game Boys, the Slims with the colors and the red and the shitty one. And and I was with my Link, and everybody's making fun of me. Whoa, who's laughing now? You come to me for the Pokemon. You come to me for the reviews. No, actually, I'm not a Nintendo channel. But that's a little Angry Joe still upset about people making
Make fun of
his-
your Game
my
Boy.
big fat Game Boy. But anyways,
Oh, you can't
I bet-
afford Fallout first? You're the worst. See, you're you're part of that group now.
I love Pokemon, so it does suck to see. You know, obviously the roster has gotten really huge. You know, it's tough to try to include every single one. But I do think, and they've shown some poor animations. I do think that more effort needed to go into these Pokemon Swords and Shields. We'll see when they come out.
It's still the largest franchise in the entire world, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing bigger than
Exactly.
it.
And
Harry
that's why
Potter.
Game Freak needs to be upping their game every single time. Not just a little bit, not just 1 point, not just 2 turns of the dial.
Yeah.
They need to be really upping their game. I don't think they did that this year, and I
Oh,
think
no.
they're probably going to
Skipped
be
out.
rewarded for it because it is such a big franchise. But welcome to the club, Pokemon fans of the sports games and the yearly releases and the missing features and the we're gonna
get 'em
add
back
them
next
back.
year.
We're gonna add them back, and
Yeah.
that's a new feature.
You have to buy a pack and then
Welcome to die. That's
That's
it.
worse.
All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for watching. Appreciate you, and we'll try to get this news episode out ASAP. Check the links below for displays or merch. And definitely hit that subscribe button.
Yep.
All right. See you next time.
Yeah, see you next time.
Bye, guys.